It is officially go time, ladies and gentlemen. What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Red Seat Radio. My name is Corbin, and we're talking playoff baseball, folks. The Red Sox wrapped up their season yesterday. It was actually a really cool story as to how the Red Sox wrapped up their season. They didn't want to use any of their legitimate starting pitchers, didn't want to waste any bullets, so they ended up calling up a guy by the name of Jose De Leon, who was essentially just taking up a roster spot in AAA. I mean, the dude had a 6.93 ERA in Worcester and was 0-9 on the season. The whole goal was to simply preserve the Red Sox pitching staff. He was able to do that and more, and he came up and kind of dominated, tossing 6 2/3 innings of 3-run baseball with 8 strikeouts is a really nice way to enter himself into Red Sox lore a little bit. I mean, the dude was in Puerto Rico. The minor league season was over. He hadn't thrown in a minute. He got the call, took a midnight plane to Philly, and then a 7:30 a.m. flight to Boston and did that. Super cool moments. The Red Sox capped off their season with a win against the Detroit Tigers, officially putting them at 89-73 on the season. All in all, I think a pretty good record for a team that after everything that happened this season, just continue to battle it out. But the job is nowhere near done. In fact, it really feels like the job has just sort of started. Now we have an official idea as to what the Red Sox are going to have to do something crazy in October. So that's what we're breaking down today. We're going to break down where the Red Sox are at in their playoff series, who they're facing, what the first matchup's going to look like. We're looking at a whole bunch of things today. But before we do, a quick word from today's sponsor. And of course, today's sponsor is DraftKings. We've been partnering with DraftKings for the entire month of September, and they have an absolutely fantastic offer for you. Right now on DraftKings, new customers who sign up using code REDSEAT and bet $5, if that bet hits, get $200 in bonus bet instantly. You can then stay in the action and use your bonus bets on DraftKings single game parlays at your shot at an even bigger payout. To take advantage of this fantastic offer, all you have to do is use code REDSEAT when you're signing up. Again, fantastic offer, code REDSEAT. Thank you to DraftKings for sponsoring this episode. Please don't forget to gamble responsibly. DraftKings, the crown is yours. Let's get back to the video. Okay, so with the Red Sox winning yesterday, the Blue Jays winning yesterday, the Cleveland Guardians losing yesterday, and the Tigers losing yesterday, essentially what that did is it put the Red Sox in the second wildcard spot. Now, depending on the way you want to look at it, this is either a really good thing or not a really good thing, because what this means is that the Detroit Tigers are now the third wildcard spot, which allows them to face the Cleveland Guardians in the first round, and then whoever wins that is going to face the Seattle Mariners in the second round. Specifically for the Red Sox, what this setup did was it put them against the New York Yankees in the first round, and then if they're able to win that, the Toronto Blue Jays in the second round. Now, I don't think there's really an easy path to getting to the World Series in the AL, right? There's some really good teams on both sides of this. The Cleveland Guardians are the team of destiny. The Seattle Mariners are going to have home field advantage where they're one of the best teams in baseball, specifically pitching-wise, right? That side of that equation is really, really difficult. However, the Red Sox certainly do not have it easy. Biggest rivalry in the entirety of sports coming to a head in New York against a team who's white hot right now doesn't exactly sound like a ton of fun. I mean, it does sound like a ton of fun, actually. It sounds like a great, grand old time, but it also doesn't sound like a ton of fun. And then if they win that, they go and face the Toronto Blue Jays, who have been one of the best teams, if not the best team in the American League for the entirety of the season, where they rested Kevin Gausman and potentially a Bo Bichette as well, right? So you look at the two sides of this and you're like, man, low-key, I think there were a lot of people, including myself, who sat there and said, would it be the worst thing in the world for the Red Sox to go out there and lose this final game and put themselves in a position where they're able to go and face the Cleveland Guardians, who on paper have a much lower-level roster than the New York Yankees do? Yeah, it might have been a good idea, right? But ultimately, I do think this is a really fun way for the Red Sox to get in the playoffs, right? A 3-game set against their biggest rival feels like the absolute most exhilarating thing the Red Sox can do. Stressful for sure, but unbelievably fun. Yeah, I think we're going to have a good time with this. And this is going to be an incredibly fascinating series for the Boston Red Sox. The Yankees are, like I said, maybe the hottest team in Major League Baseball right now. I mean, the Cleveland Guardians probably have that beat, but they didn't exactly end on the strongest note there. However, the Yankees, on the other hand, they're 9-1 in their last 10 games, including a 7-game win streak to end their season. They are hitting as a team during that stretch 271 with a 376 on base percentage and a 479 slug. They have 17 home runs in that time, 16 doubles, and 60 RBIs. I mean, that's what? 6 runs a game, basically, almost 2 homers a game. They're balling out. On the other side of the ball, their pitching is kind of matching their hitting right now. Over those 10 games, it's just a 1.90 ERA with a 298 FIP, almost 100 strikeouts, and 27 walks. Both sides of the ball are playing incredibly well for the Yankees right now. However, in those 10 games, they played 6 games against the Orioles, who are 12 games under 500, 3 games against the White Sox, who are 42 games under 500. Not exactly the cream of the crop here, right? If we compare that to what the Red Sox have been dealing with lately, their last 10 games, right? You snuck in a game against the Oakland Athletics there, but then you got the Rays, who are the best of the worst teams in the AL, right? I don't know if there's a better way to put that, especially in the AL East. Then you go up against the Toronto Blue Jays, who are the division leaders, and you go up against the Detroit Tigers, who were fighting for a wild card spot. You didn't have an easy path to get to the postseason. You went 6-4 during that stretch. So the question's going to be, coming into this series, are the Yankees just simply incredibly hot right now, or were they just playing bad teams? I mean, the Yankees' last legitimate winning team that they played was the Boston Red Sox. Now, they did well against us, but that was almost a month ago. The Red Sox have been only facing winning teams, and they've been only having to play their best baseball. The Yankees kind of had a cakewalk into this playoffs, right? And they did a great job against these guys. They did their job against them, but ultimately, the Red Sox have been facing tougher competition. So right now, it's sort of a battle of, hey, is it the hot team, or is it the team that's been having to fight their way into the playoffs? Personally, I like the edge it gives the Red Sox, right? The Yankees have been not really playing their hardest, or don't have to be playing their hardest, right? Maybe that saves some bullets, but the Red Sox are hotter. They've won 2 series against 2 teams who were at one point the 2 best teams in the American League. And I think that's a really, really good thing. And I honestly think it's a positive thing for the Boston Red Sox. But it also means it's going to be an absolute dogfight in this series. If you think it's not going to be a dogfight, I don't know what to tell you, right? I think regardless of how the Yankees are playing, how the Red Sox are playing, rivalry series in the playoffs, both teams are going to be coming with their best. And for the Red Sox, that obviously means one thing, and that is that their best is going to be on the mound in Game 1. Now, the Red Sox haven't officially announced what their roster is going to look like for the wild card series. I'm assuming that's going to come out at some point tomorrow. When it does, don't you worry, we are going to have it covered right here on this channel. We're going to be breaking down the roster all day tomorrow, leading up to the Red Sox biggest game in 4 years. But we do know one thing, and that is that the Red Sox are going to obviously start this series off with Garrett Crochet on the mound. I mean, if the Red Sox didn't do that, I don't know what to tell them, right? They would have been absolute fools to not put Garrett Crochet out there. Now, against the Yankees, he hasn't exactly been his greatest. In fact, against teams that he's made 2 or more starts against, the Yankees actually have his highest ERA, which is 3.29 in 4 games against the Yankees this year. He has allowed 5 home runs against them, which is the most against any team this season, but he also has 39 strikeouts in 27 1/3 innings, just 4 walks, and a .878 whip. So, not a lot of traffic on the base pass. The home runs he is giving up tends to be solo shots, which, you know what, I'm taking solo shots every single day, and to be honest with you, I don't really care about the regular season statistics, right? This is the point in the year where everything starts over. You're 0-0 with a 0 ERA coming into this series, and if I'm the Red Sox, honestly, I'm just a Red Sox fan, right? This is why you make this trade. This is why you trade away 2 of your best prospects that you've had in your system in a very long time. This is why you deplete your catching depth, and this is why you sign this guy to a 6-year deal. It's for moments like this, where the season's on the line, the games mean everything, every pitch means everything. There is nobody else in the entire sport, I think, maybe outside of Tariq Skubal or Paul Skeens, that you want starting this game 1, for your team, right? And so it makes sense that the Red Sox are like, hey man, we're going to go with you to start this series off. Now, outside of Garrett Crochet, this is where you start to get into the guessing game a little bit, right? It's not totally confirmed, but it feels like the 100% answer is that Brayan Bello's going to get Game 2, which to me actually makes a ton of sense. Yes, Bello's been struggling lately, but he's going to be getting about a week off in between starts here, so he's going to have plenty of time to rest up and really sort of get himself right. And to be honest with you, Bello, who's had his moments this year, has been one of those guys who in big moments steps up and really does a good job, and I think that's what he's going to be able to do in New York, because specifically against the Yankees, he's been really, really great. This season, he has just a 1.89 ERA with a 0.97 FIP in 3 games against the Yankees. Now, for the third spot, if needed, hopefully it's not needed in a good way, but if it is needed, the Boston Red Sox have a couple of options here. Now, the obvious answer would be to go with Lucas Giolito, but to be honest with you, Lucas Giolito looks way more burned down than Bello does, and Bello's been struggling lately, and Gio's looked a little bit worse than he has, right? So I wouldn't be totally surprised to see the Red Sox kind of throw a curveball in here and say, we might go with Conley early for game 3, but I think ultimately it does end up being Lucas Giolito. But again, this is something we're probably going to break down a little bit more tomorrow. For the Yankees on the other side of things, they're obviously going to their ace as well. Not Garrett Cole, he's not going to be there, but they are going with Max Fried, who has had a fantastic season, and specifically against the Red Sox, he's had a fantastic season. This year, he has just a 1.96 ERA in 3 starts, but a really high 1.418 whip in 3 games against the Red Sox. If the Red Sox want to take game 1, I think what it's going to end up coming down to here is it's not going to come down to the Red Sox, looking for that 3-run home run or pounding Max Fried to death. I think what it's going to come down to is timely singles, timely doubles, timely walks, stolen bases, right? The Red Sox are going to have to play small strategic baseball against the Yankees to take this game and really to take this series, right? And I think that's what's going to be probably the most fascinating part of this Red Sox-Yankees series, right? The Red Sox, they aren't totally known for their prowess offensively. You've lost Roman Anthony, you trade Rafael Devers, Alex Bregman isn't the same person he was, right? So you don't have that, oh my God, you need to avoid this guy in a postseason series type guy, right? Trevor Story may be that guy. Willie Abreu, right? You have that potential in the lineup, but I think ultimately it's going to come down to, for the Red Sox, can they play good, strategic, well-timed baseball versus the Yankees, who do have that raw power, right? Anyone in their lineup can give you a 3-run Johnson at any point. It's basically going to be brains versus brawn in this series. I think that's absolutely fascinating. Regardless, though, I'm psyched up, right? I think you guys should be psyched up, too. I mean, first and foremost, we're playing playoff baseball, ladies and gentlemen, right? We're talking about a playoff roster. We're talking about pitching matchups for the postseason. That's unbelievably fun. But at the same time, too, I think there are a lot of people out there who don't expect the Red Sox to do much, right? Who don't expect the Red Sox to make a super deep run in this postseason or come out of New York at all. Right, and I think that's what makes this fun as well. Not only are we underdogs coming into the postseason, but we're not really playing for anything. Right, the Red Sox, if they lose, people are going to be like, yeah, of course the Red Sox lost. They just simply didn't match up roster-wise to a team like the Yankees or a team like the Blue Jays or a team like the Mariners or whatever. Right, so they have nothing to lose out there. This team, this whole season, has been young, dumb, and talented. And now they're young, dumb, and talented on the biggest stage. And I think that's an incredibly, incredibly good advantage the Boston Red Sox have over a lot of teams here, including the New York Yankees, who are expected to make a deep run, who are expected to be a hard team to beat. And I think that's what's going to make this series fun. Regardless, we are going to have a whole lot of coverage on this channel coming into this series. We're going to be talking about these games every single day. We're going to be live streaming these games every single night, so make sure you guys are there for that. But before we get into any of that, let me know how you're feeling. Let me know what you're feeling about this matchup in the first round for the Boston Red Sox. Let me know what you think about the matchup in the first game, and how do you think this series is going to go for Boston? Let me know all your thoughts in the comments down below. As always, if you made it to the end of this video, do me a favor, make sure you guys have hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. If you're new here, we talk Red Sox content almost every single day. Also, make sure you guys have hit the like button on this video as well. It just simply helps out a ton, and it's the best way to let me know you're enjoying the content. Thank you all very much for clicking on this one, and I will see you with a whole lot of postseason coverage, but as always, in the red seats.